Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Mercer University. I'm Rick Cameron, the radio broadcaster for Mercer Athletics, doubling over with another role today, which I'm honored and pleased to do. For those of you who are watching our live stream via YouTube, we are inside Hawkins Arena for a very special occasion. For those of you here today in attendance, thank you for being with us today to celebrate the beginning of the Greg Gary era with our men's basketball program. For the thousands of us who are Mercer basketball fans, we know there is a passion, excitement, and hunger for this program to excel, mentor young men into winners in life, and battle consistently for championships. For the millions of college basketball fans who have had their attention glued to the big dance in recent years, the gentleman sitting on the stage with us today has been a vital component of a Purdue basketball program that has become a thoroughbred among the major basketball powers in the country. Today, we are here to launch the partnership of the I Believe Mercer basketball family with the experience and success of Coach Greg Gary, who has 9 NCAA tournament appearances as a coach or player and 16 postseason tournaments overall as a coach or player. Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo says this is a match made in heaven. Florida head coach Mike White says, Greg will be terrific at Mercer, home run. And finally, and maybe the best quote of all, Mercer is getting a very good person and coach in Greg Gary. Coach Gary has been a big part of our success over the last 8 years. He's an excellent teacher of the game and will bring the right student athletes to enable Mercer to be successful on and off the court. Matt Painter, Purdue head coach. I now want to introduce 2 Mercer athletics administrators who have been pivotal in bringing Coach Gary to Mercer. Sybil Blaylock first, our Deputy Director of Athletics for Academic Affairs and Senior Woman Administrator, and then Jim Cole, Director of Athletics, who will in turn introduce Coach Gary. Sybil?
Well, thank you again for being here today. It's really a testament of the support surrounding Mercer Athletics and the university itself for each of you to be sitting in Hawkins Arena today. And there's a reason that people come to Mercer University, and I think a big part of that reason is the leadership that we have. And I'd really like to thank President Underwood and Jim Cole for the leadership that they provide, and also for the resources that they provide for our student athletes to be successful both academically and athletically here at Mercer. You know, we have great fans and we have great spirit here at Mercer. I have to say that if you've been around Coach Gary at all, you can't help but be drawn to him because of the passion that he has and because of the core values that he has. He's been in a whirlwind the last couple of weeks, playing in that little tournament called the NCAA, which he told us we're going to be in next year, I believe. That's what I heard the other day. Okay, he may not have said that, but that's what I heard, okay? But he has, you know, you just can't help but feeling the passion that he has. Every time you talk to him, you know, it just kind of comes alive, the culture that he's going to instill in our team and help us athletically here with our men's basketball program. And we're very thankful that he has accepted our job. So Coach Gary has been charged now with elevating our program. And as with any venture, he needs help from all of us, obviously from Team First, from all of us, and from you guys. And we look forward to helping him build and to elevate our program. And when he wins, we're going to all win together, and we're really looking forward to that. It goes without saying that your family is a huge part of any success that you have in your life. And we really look forward to having Claudia and their children and their family as members of our Bear Nation. So, Coach Gary, congratulations and welcome to Mercer University.
Well, thank you, Sybil, and you and I have got to know each other quite well over the past 2 weeks. It's been a very intense process, and first of all, I want to say some sincere thanks to some people that were instrumental in this process of getting to this point. First of all, I want to say thank you to the team for your understanding through a tough process. I want to thank you for how you conducted yourselves the past 2.5 weeks. You maintained the integrity in the classroom that you know is a hallmark of our programs. So I want to thank you all for that. I also want to thank Coach Gary's family in this process. I know it was intense and it was tough, but we're here and it's a great day and it's going to be a great future. I'm going to say a few more words about y'all in a minute, but I got some good stories he told me in the press conference. But I also want to thank our fans, and I want to thank everybody here today. Now, I've been in politics for a long time. I've always been outnumbered on the left, but the way it feels today, I'm really outnumbered on the left here with 200 people here to my left. But I want to thank you for your passion, because in this process, Governor Perdue always told me when I was serving under him that everything basically comes down to 3 things. It comes down to people, process, and infrastructure. And I want to talk a little bit about infrastructure, and we're not talking about bridges and trains and business infrastructure. We're talking about the infrastructure of this building. We're talking about the infrastructure of resources. We're talking about infrastructure of the fans that show up and the passion and the dedication. And I want to say a special thanks to Bill Underwood for what he provides us, because in this process where we hired Eddie Fogler, who was the ex-coach at Vanderbilt in South Carolina, to help us in this process, Eddie from day one said, "Jim, y'all have a great job." He goes, "You have what it takes to win. You have the resources. You're going to get some great candidates." So in the process, the infrastructure just kind of fell into place. But the process was intense, and Sybil and I, for 2 weeks, were all over this country. And I got a special friend here, Roy Fickling, who was kind enough. Roy, I don't know how many miles we put on your jet, but Sybil and I wore it out, and we felt first class, so thank you. But we flew all over this country interviewing, going through the process. But in the process, it all comes down to people. And I don't know the plays that are going to be called. I don't know the offensive sets and where you're going to be recruiting. But my dad always had a saying, if you just get good people in place, everything else is going to take care of itself. And in the process of interviewing candidates, I asked Coach Gary, I asked every candidate, who are your mentors in life? And, you know, most of them had coaches or former players or people that had been instrumental. Coach Gary was pretty honest. He said, Jeff and Mark, my 2 brothers. So right there told you that you got a strong, wonderful family. I know your mother, Miss Becky's here. Glad to have you. But then we met Claudia and the family when we flew up to see them in West Lafayette. And you could just tell that family unit and the dedication to making each other successful. So a lot of basketball went into it, a lot of screening and getting good candidates. But when it comes down to it, we just got good people. And so I don't have anything else to say besides the fact that we're glad to have all of y'all. I can't wait to have the family down, Claudia. And I do have something for you and Miss Becky. I'm sorry I should have got 2, but I didn't know y'all were both coming. But we got you some flowers as close to orange as we could. So without further ado, I will introduce to you the next Mercer basketball coach, Coach Greg Gary.
Thanks, I appreciate it. No, I won't. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the comments on the too. Well, you can see why, and I know everyone here realizes what kind of special place this is and special group. But Sybil, Jim, President Underwood, it was really obvious to me right from the beginning the way they handled the process with us still playing. They were first class in the way they handled it until it was time. But as Jim talked about just being a relationship and just being a people business, you can tell, and everyone can tell when you first meet people and you get to know them and you talk to them a few more times, you know what kind of people they are. And so there's a lot of boxes that I checked off for this job, but right from the beginning, the top was the people were tremendous. So I want to thank President Underwood, Sybil, Jim, Daniel. You guys have been tremendous in welcoming our family, making us feel comfortable, but also having high expectations that I also have and that I want our team to have. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart to making us feel that way. I have to thank you guys first. So they deserve a round of applause. And I have to start here because Claudia, my wife, I got to give her thanks. We've moved quite a bit. She's been a tremendous wife, tremendous mother. I can't say enough about what she has done to allow our kids to be successful and really to be who they are today. We do have 5 kids, 4 of them, first 4 were girls. The last one was a boy. If he was born second, we probably would have had 2. Because that little son of a gun is quite energetic. But they would love to be here. They're super excited. They obviously have school, so they couldn't miss all of it. But I want to thank my wife for being and doing everything she does. Can you please stand and please give her a round of applause? And then it's pretty funny because you said it's real stressful for the whole family. Well, my wife knew what was going on, but I try not to just talk to too many people, so I basically called Mom when it was already done and said, hey, by the way, I'm moving to Macon. Because I know her, I don't want to stress her out too much. Because I remember, and my brothers can attest to this, when we played, again, we grew up in Anderson, Indiana. I'm from a basketball family. Our guys will understand it is basketball. Friday, Saturday night, we went to games. I went and watched my brothers, but my mom, she would always, just a nervous wreck. So she would always, during the game, she would get up and just start pacing up top. Sometimes she'd go outside and keep pacing. So I didn't want to give her too much information just because I didn't want to stress her out. But they've been tremendous. Mark and Jeff have, like Jim said, been great mentors, just super people. I can't say enough about them, and just them being here, it means an awful lot to me. So if you guys could please stand and please give them a round of applause. And this program, Coach Hoffman, I just want to tell you, he built this thing, and I appreciate he's such a well-respected man in this community and in the coaching fraternity. He did one heck of a job, so I really want to reach out to him and thank him for what he has built here. The tradition, again, it goes to all the boxes that I talked about. I talked about the people. I talked about the tradition, all right? The conference is a great conference. So there's a number of things that I kept checking off, and Coach Hoffman, I want to thank him because he got this program started in the right direction and is a great, great man. So I wanted to make sure that I reached out to him and thanked him for what he has done to this program. So if we could give him a round of applause. I will say this, the last 8 years at Purdue were absolutely amazing to myself and my family. Yes, it's a BCS school, but man, it's just like such a small community there. They did the culture and the success that was taught there by Coach Painter, it is going to be brought the same type of way here. It works, all right? And so it's simple, but you got to care about people. You're going to do it the right way, which we are going to do it the right way. I just have so much respect for what Coach Painter, I learned so much from him. And I will continue talking to him and just learn. He's one of the smartest, and I say it all the time, one of the smartest coaches in the country, and he's one of the best coaches in the country. So I want to again thank him for allowing. If it wasn't for him hiring me at Purdue, I probably wouldn't be here. All right, because he has just taught me so things, and his success, his culture, the way we do it there, just breeds success. So I'm very thankful for Coach Painter for allowing me to be on his staff. Mike Bobinski's another, he's the athletic director there at Purdue. I want to thank him. Morgan Burke was before him. They just teach you how to be successful at Purdue, and I couldn't thank the people at Purdue enough. I've had other opportunities, like I said, to become a head coach, but it goes back to the beginning. I felt like the people were right here. The vision that Jim, Sybil, President Underwood gave is my vision. Another box that was checked was they're going to do everything they can for you guys as players to be successful, all right? And when that happens, then everybody in the community, you want to be with the winner. You want to be with guys that are going to do it on and off the court. And all those things were talked about. Mercer is a great school. It's got a great reputation. So that's another box that I checked. So I really was excited as this process went on to be able to start. I have boxes to be checked, and it kept checking. And it's really a great thing. Another box I felt like checked was the conference. There should have been, they were talking about 4 teams from the SoCon getting into the NCAA tournament. That's fantastic. The coaches are high-level coaches. That's what I want to coach in. I want to beat those guys, all right? That's who we need to go towards and get into that tournament. So I was excited about that opportunity, because in order to be the best, you got to what? Beat the best, correct? So that's a challenge to me and my staff as I gather them. It's a challenge to our guys that's where we have to get to, all right? And there's going to be some ups and downs, but ultimately the goal is that, and we're going to do it the right way. So I think those, again, with the conference being the way it was and the way it is with high-level coaches, it's another box that's going to be checked. Okay, how am I going to coach? I was asked, Jim asked me, how are you on the sideline? It just depends. That's a hard question to answer when you're in an interview, because you want to let them see your excitement. I just know this, I'm going to coach with toughness, with grit, all right, with confidence. I don't want guys looking over me all the time worried about making a mistake. You can't play the way you want to if you do that. We should do our work in the practice and get ready, and that game ought to be a reward. All right, and we'll make some adjustments, all like that, but you are going to see our teams play with grit and toughness and smarts most of the time. All right, not all the time it happens that way. It's a game of basketball. You can only control certain things, but we're going to be that is what we're going to be. I want to say thank you for allowing me this opportunity to lead these guys. I don't take it lightly. All right, I want them to be successful on the court, but also off the court. I want them to be able to, on down the line, all come back and be able to help the next group of guys that come in. That's important to me, and the only way you do that is to be able to build relationships with those guys and where they trust you and you trust them. Then you start getting that culture, people start coming back, and now you're rolling. So I can't thank the community here and everybody else for as much they've given me this opportunity to lead the team, and I really appreciate it. You are going to be proud, and I'll finish up with this, and it's real simple. You're going to be proud of the product that is on that court, and you're going to be proud of the product that walks out in that community. Thank you.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Glad to have you, man.
Appreciate it.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I can't either. Thank you.
Okay, one more time, let's give a warm Mercer greeting to our new head coach.
Thanks. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick.
We do appreciate everyone coming today. You may not can see the food for all of the fans here, but there is some light food over here. Please stick around for a brief reception. Coach has some media responsibilities, but as he can, I'm sure he'd like to shake your hand.
Yeah, real quick, I wanted to say, Jim's, I saw this hat, I go, Jim, please make sure it's an extra large. Because I get fun in my head all the time how big it is.
But again, thank you for coming. Our guys are here as well. If you want to offer them some encouragement, that's fine too. But thank you so much for coming today.